There we go.
There we go. Chopper's in the house. What you doing? What you doing, fam?
Nothing. Playing FIFA. Eating fried rice.
Eating fried rice.
Yeah.
Bro, you tell me you got knocked out.
Yeah. Fell asleep.
They knocked you out and you fell asleep?
Nah.
Bro, who are you
I got
fighting?
knocked. When I say I got knocked out, I meant I fell asleep.
Alright. Bro, how you knock out at 8 p.m. and then wake up
I
at
was
like
watching a
11?
movie.
What movie were you watching?
I forgot. Forgot which movie it was. It was like something about sharks.
Bro, what are you watching sharks about? Well, it is the summer, so you got, what, Shark Week and all that, too. I remember that. Bro, I remember freaking when Shark Week started up on Discovery Channel. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
yearly event. And it always would be like towards the end of summer for some reason, too. Oh, man. Oh, we're about to get to the start of summer. We're pretty much at the start of summer now, right? I can't believe we're halfway into
Are
June.
you, are you streaming?
What's up? I'm
Are
saying,
you streaming?
why?
Just asking.
I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so what you gonna do for the summer now?
I'm going to Pennsylvania.
You're gonna turn to who?
Pennsylvania,
When is that?
June 27th.
June 20th. And how long you gonna be in Pennsylvania?
2 months around. I don't know.
You don't know yet? Alright,
Yeah.
I got you. Bro, did I tell you about my dad? How he was being sped?
No, you told me he went to.
Oh my god, yeah, I gotta tell you the whole thing. So I call him up one afternoon, and he's been having some issues with his phone. Like, I think he put it to silent without even realizing it, and forgot it doesn't know how to turn it off as silent. So whenever I'm calling him, he doesn't. The ringer is basically off, and so he hasn't been answering his phone, right? So I call him up the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, where you been? I've been trying to call you, trying to get in touch with you, and all that." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't remember." And then one day he's like, "Oh, I've been traveling." All right, and I'm like, "All right, where'd you travel to?" I don't know. I'm gonna tell you when I get more information.
The fuck?
And I'm like, "What? What kind of answer is that?" And I'm like, "What you mean? What kind of information do you need?" I'm gonna tell you when I get some more information. Well, maybe when I get some less. And I'm like, "What kind of sped answer is that?" And then I'm like, "All right, so what you been up to?" My sister's telling me that he's been trying to get a job, uh,
Nigga,
riding.
a job at like 97 years old. God damn.
He ain't 97, but he's in his 70s. Uh, oh God, well, how old is he now? Like, I think he's
73.
73, 74 now. Yeah, about that age.
Oh damn! I predicted
Pretty close.
that shit right.
I know you're about to be right on. I gotta freaking remember. I can't believe. Well, it's like what, almost midnight now, so I can't remember, right? Um, so I confront him
Damn,
on this.
motherfucker, run. Yeah.
So I confront him on this idea of him wanting to get a job of writing memoirs for people. So basically, I don't know what that kind of sounds sped though too. But I'm thinking, what kind of memoirs are you going to be writing for people, and who's going to be wanting to get memoirs? And then he's like, "Oh, I need to do family history for people." I'm like, "You talking about what exactly?" So, kind of give you an idea. He used to do some like research in an area called genealogy, which is like the study of family history or the process of like getting family history. Um, in other words, it's like some family wants to know who their great grandfather is and who that person is related to, and know their ancestors and all that. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be doing that," and I'm thinking, well, first of all, you know how tough that is to like find people who want to get that done. Like there are probably people that out there, but who's gonna be paying all that money though?
Paying how much?
Well, I don't even know because he doesn't even know himself. He just wants to be making money
Why are you trying to make money at 73 or 74?
because he wasn't successful at making money in the rest of his life. Because he did a lot of poor decisions. Like, oh God, one of the first decisions that he did, to kind of give you a little bit of information on him, what he did was he got a girl pregnant when he was in high school, and he had like an early marriage. Then, from what I heard, his mom forced him to divorce the girl because his
Yeah.
mom or my dad's mom, so that would be my paternal grandmother, uh, thought the girl was too country, and they had a son, um,
And the son
and
was you?
no, that would be my half brother. My half brother is, oh God, like 30, 40 years older than me. I don't even know how long. Probably like 35 years older than me,
Wait,
probably. At least in his 50s.
35 older than you?
Yeah, he's probably in his 50s or early
God
50s.
damn, bro.
Yeah, because I know he's older than
Looks
my
like your
mom.
dad was pulling. Looks like your dad was pulling hella.
Well, I don't even know what was going on there because this is like what freaking middle of North Carolina during the
1914.
freaking what 60s?
Yeah, the Great Depression.
Not the Great Depression. Great
Oh,
Depression was before World War II. Well, you just
yeah, I
covered
know.
this. When was the Great Depression?
19, goddamn, 20 or 30? I don't know.
30s, 30s. Because my grandmother,
Yeah, see, yeah.
what's crazy? My dad's mother, so my grandmother grew up during the Great Depression. So if you,
See, I'm not.
I just find it kind of crazy that's a thing. But when you have children later in life, you get into those kind of situations where you got this big generational gap.
Depression. Fuck. Why are you all the way up?
Anyway, so I don't know, my dad's kind of made weird decisions throughout his life. Like, so like he went
If you should
to
be gay or not.
what would you call it? College, university, and he got a PhD in psychology. But it's not like
Yeah.
clinical psychology or anything to like treat people in a hospital kind of
But
psychology
why
or
is he acting dumb
psychiatry.
though? Why is he acting very dumb though?
Well, let me compete. I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story here. So, basically, at a high school, my understanding is he worked a few side jobs here and there, but nothing was serious. Like he told me he had this one job where he barely got into working at some like places like what do you call it? Like cleaning a store, and he had like a broom and dustpan. They had him like sweeping the floors and all that, and they threw him into like supposedly they put him into the basement to sweep the floor, and he ran off, never to return back
Yeah.
to work. Um, then there's another story that he worked like uh oh god, what was the dead end beat or deadbeat job? Some kind of like weird job during the 60s. I don't know what it was because he never really talked to us about it. But he later, after getting his PhD in psychology, he went to go teach like intro to psychology or the beginner's psychology at um at the community college in Salisbury, and I think he taught at two different ones. Um, one of them was like kind of a private school, but it basically anybody could have gone into that school. And
Yeah, yeah.
another one is a famous school in Salisbury, North Carolina, that is for uh, minorities. And uh, he worked there for a few years, and then like my understanding, met my mom, and according to my mom's mom, so my maternal grandmother, uh,
God damn you, what the fuck is a maternal grandma?
well, think mother and father, because if I say grandma, I either mean who, my dad's mom or my mom's mom. So you know who I'm talking to. I refer to like that, and medically, that's what you're supposed to do too. So
Mm,
it
fuck
just
that,
it just
man.
yeah. Anyway, so my mom's mom said told me that my dad hardly did any working. Like he would show up to the university for like an hour or two, and then go back home. So like he barely did any work basically, from what I'm being told. Um,
Mm,
and that he would like kind of do lectures or teach sort of, but then like whenever somebody would do homework and all that, he wouldn't even read what they wrote for like an essay, and he would be like, all right, so this is a page, you get an A. Oh, this is half a page,
no.
here's a B. Oh, you wrote a sentence, here's a C. That kind of nonsense.
So he
And
was trying to be a teacher.
I guess, but like he didn't ever really, from my grandmother's perspective, supposedly he didn't hardly do anything. But he also had this fantasy that he was going to be a professional golfer,
Mm.
and he was like spending a bunch of money. He was in debt apparently, and then
Man, what the fuck, man? Bullshit.
yeah, like spent. He was in I guess credit card debt was what he had, and so this would have been like during the '90s, and uh, hid that information from my mom, and basically what ended up happening was my dad was like spending money left and right on either going to golfing range, trying to practice golf on golfing equipment, and he never
Now
really,
my,
yeah, like he never was full
I
on
don't
like
know.
serious. And
Your your dad looked like your dad sounds so sped when he was young.
oh, it gets even better. So, and then on top of spending money at doing golf or playing golf, uh, he also would spend his money left and right at going to restaurants, taking his mom to restaurants, and they would be spending a bunch of money at these restaurants, giving tips here and there. They also both of them had fast food addictions, so like my dad will always go to like McDonald's, um, oh god, Jack in the Box.
McDonald's, I can see why, because McDonald's used to be like 30 cents a burger or some shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was cheap, and plus I don't even know if my dad did any cooking ever. He did a very little bit of cooking whenever we
Man,
were
your
there.
dad was probably. I can see why your dad would be probably like 300 pounds. I can see
Yeah,
why.
he freaking well, with my mom and my grandmother, he who started gaining weight doing the fast. I
He
think it's from
probably
fast food, but
he probably didn't he probably didn't have any motivation.
I don't know what the case is. Somebody told me he's got the American illness, but
That's true.
yeah,
Americans just sleep, eat, and work.
yeah, it's like what do they call it? Live to work, work to live.
Live to work and work to live to work. The fuck?
Yeah, you know what I
Live,
mean.
then
Yeah,
you
live
work
to
to
work,
live.
work to live, right? Um, but then he quit working at the community colleges, and then my family moved to Charlotte back when I was like, God, like a year or two old, maybe three. Um,
Man, you were a cute bit.
so I think what happened was my mom started working as a server in different restaurants, and my
Oh,
dad
yeah.
eventually got a job doing something in statistics for
Did he have a green card?
CMS. And CMS is Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, so like the public school system in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And
How
they
about a
would.
green card?
What about green card?
Did he have a green card?
No, he's a natural born citizen. He's born in the U.S. He was born in New York.
Well, he gotta get a green card to lose his weight. Psych.
No, you on about you on some dumb stuff now. No, but he's born in U.S. He's white American. Uh, Technically, if you want to go down ancestry, some ancestors forever ago from
He don't,
Scotland moved to the U.S., probably to New
he
York. Uh, but I'll get into a little bit more a little bit later. So he worked doing like statistics, and I suspect that he was like helping doing like the testing and teaching teachers how to teach the kids for the tests because a lot of public school systems they get more funding depending on like how the students perform.
Nail, bro.
So
I'm at the 90. Bro, I'm at the 92 minute, the last minute, the last second, and I'm about to shoot the ball, and he just blows the whistle. What the?
uh, but yeah, so apparently sometime around 2000 and like what 5 2006 maybe 2007
It
uh
doesn't be.
in that like time frame uh my half brother moved to Tampa, Florida, and my
Yeah.
half brother got a law degree and became a lawyer specializing in insurance law. So anything kind of in that area. Um, and I think, let's see, from my memory, my mom, on top of like trying to be a server, she also did a bunch of other stuff. Like she went into real estate, but nothing was successful in the real estate market. Um, but my
Yeah.
dad
Hold
had
on.
this
Hold on.
like desire to um, try to get some work done with my half brother. Um, but as far as I can tell, from my memory, nothing of that nature really worked out. I'm not sure what happened to Umain here. Anyway, like they did a bunch of stuff. Like I think my dad tried to go into real estate. So remember I said my half brother went to Tampa or moved to Tampa. My dad's first son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he moved to Tampa, became an insurance lawyer, and
Yeah.
my dad tried to like basically
Yeah.
get work from his first son.
Oh.
Yeah, so from my understanding, I think my dad was just trying to get kind of like piggyback back off of his first son, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because they did
Kind of
something
makes
in
sense.
like real estate at one point, and I think my half brother was like buying and reselling
Yeah.
homes. But then he also did something in like
Mhm.
um, credit and insurance. I think was another thing because he had like an office at one point they were renting out. Um, but apparently one of the issues was that
Not
like my
not
dad
yeah,
was
my
not
bully show
finding
my
clients,
possibly one more cup. Yeah.
so he never really
So
made any
so
money. Um, and he was kind of like living in an apartment here, renting apartment there, and he was doing that also with his mom, or my dad's mom, and uh, eventually there came this idea that he wanted my mom to sell the house that we had in Charlotte when we lived in like North Charlotte, um, and to move to Tampa, Florida. And my mom was kind of like stressed out because it was kind of a surprise to her and um, didn't know really what to do, what needed to be done. Do we need to prepare the house for sale and all that? So eventually, my mom sells the house. But then she's like, "Nah, why do I need to go down to Florida? You know, what's wrong with
I have two houses in Florida. What the fuck?
no, no, no. My dad did not have a house. He lived in an apartment at that time.
Oh,
Um, we had a house, but we sold that
so
house.
sell the apartment
No, he was renting an
there.
apartment. There's not no apartment to sell. He was
Oh,
renting
he
or
got this
leasing an
bed then.
apartment.
Got this bed.
Yeah. And he was doing that with his mom, right? So what my mom did was she was like, "No, I'm not going to Florida." Um, and in 2000 and what 7 or 8, she bought the house where she currently lives. And my dad got mad and kind of jealous, and he was like, "All right, I want to come back up to Charlotte. What room can I live in?" And my mom was like, "Oh, we don't have no room for you to live in." And he got pissed off
Damn.
and started, and he bought like a house in Tampa. And I think around that time was when they started officially doing what I call separation, um,
Hmm.
like being separate, if that makes any sense. Because my dad was like wanting to stay in Tampa. I don't think he wanted to come back to Charlotte. Um, don't really know why. I'm gonna have to ask him, but he's got this like issue. I don't know if he's got dementia or what. Um, but he's been like jumping around, not really doing anything productive. Probably since 2000 and oh god, for almost 20 years now. Maybe arguably maybe more, maybe 30. Um, but he basically lost the house that he bought in Tampa. It was a decent house too
Yeah.
because he was like renting it out to like one of his coworkers, and it was right on a lake. Um, but yeah, he lost that house, and my grandma, my dad's mom, maternal mother, a grandmother, um, decided to live with his sister or my aunt, and she moved to like basically like Atlanta, Georgia, and then eventually my dad got a room with his sister or like my aunt and was living in my aunt's place, claiming that he was taking care of my grandmother and that was his job. Uh, which in reality, what was going on is he was living kind of like paycheck to paycheck on uh, what he was getting from his time teaching at the community college here in North Carolina. So on a few $100 a month, basically, is what he was living on. Um, and he kept doing that until my grandmother moved into like a retirement center, and then he was like spending his time more time like with my grandmother at that retirement center. And
Yeah.
when my grandmother passed away in 2016, he started kind of like going crazy. Um,
That's
and
not good.
yeah, but like when I mean crazy, as in he started doing like mischievous stuff, like stuff you could
You
almost call evil. Like
start doing the wap 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 wap
yeah,
wap
he started
wap.
trying to like brainwash my sister. I won't go into too much details on that, but was giving my mom stress.
Come on, go deep in.
Basically, trying to get my sister to believe that my mom is an evil person. Kind,
Yikes.
yeah. Um, and so what was it like? And basically, when I was in high school, I think 2009, 2010, when I went to ninth grade, my mom basically divorced my dad, and we were getting
That's not that's not good.
yeah. My sister was very upset. She was more upset than I was. Because I thought that my
Damn,
dad
you
was
got no
going to
feelings.
like fix somehow we were going to fix everything and live together and somehow. But looking at it
That
now,
sucks,
it's
bro.
like the nature of it makes sense. Um, so basically, my dad didn't know what to do. He started living with, jumping around, living with, you know, trying to live at my aunt's place, but then he moved out because he thought my aunt was crazy, and then he lived with his he has two other brothers, one who lives in Charlotte and another one who lives in South Carolina. And he was moving
Hmm.
around different places with them. And then eventually, what ended up happening was that he kind of brainwashed a lady to have him move in with her. And the story goes that this lady had her mother live with my grandmother at that same retirement house. And he convinced this lady to kind of like fall in love with him, and he was living at this lady's house. And and then eventually convinced this lady to sell her house, and him and her moved into like a senior living care facility, kind of like a retirement center. And he's been there ever since, and now that lady's wanted to kick him out because he's been living on that lady's money.
So what did he meet this lady again?
So how did he meet the lady?
Yeah.
Okay, so when my grandmother, my dad's mom, moved from living at my aunt's place into a retirement center, this lady also nearly every day came to that place to visit. I believe her mother was also at that retirement center as well. I don't quite remember the exact details, but he, over time, brainwashed that lady to fall in love with him.
Like how?
Saying magic words. The term is in English is called swooning. Basically,
Bribing?
yeah. I don't know the exact details. I wasn't there, but I would
Man, fuck this
imagine
bribing.
that.
I eat something cold, you feel me?
Yeah,
There's no
but
cold drinks in here, but what the fuck?
yeah, but basically,
I wanna be alone.
my dad's like,
Go to sleep. Now. You got school tomorrow.
you got who was it? Your brother or your sister?
Sister.
She still goes to school?
Hey, no. She go to the sped school.
Ah,
I'm
I
joking.
got you.
I'm joking, but damn.
Oh, you're joking? Why would you say that then?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I just
so
let you know I'm a bad brother.
I'll tell you. So this is how kind of give you the backstory to what happened. So I called my dad, asked him, "Hey, you haven't been answering your phone," and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what I've been doing. I've been traveling. I've been working on projects. I've been in meetings. I've been talking to people." But he can't give me any details because I think he's just making stuff up. Because he can't. I was like, "Oh, when was the meeting? Who did you talk to? What did you all discuss during the meeting?" And he can't
No.
name or say anything of it. Because
The next
either,
thing your dad gonna do, the next time your dad gonna be is homeless, bro.
well, yeah, that's what I'm freaking thinking is going to end up happening, possibly. And because he's in his 70s, it's very difficult for him to find a job that will fit with what his health is. Because I don't even know the status of his health. Um, and
So
I
your
talked,
grandma don't want to bring him back in?
no, my mom don't want anything to do with him.
No, your grandma.
What grandma? His mom?
Yeah. No, your grandma.
My grandma, my grandmother has, so my mom's mom has mixed opinions of him. She thinks that he's lazy. She thinks that he may be having some kind of dementia or what's the word, going crazy basically. Um, and
You're gonna have trouble if you're gonna have so much trouble if they bring him in.
yeah, so that's what we were thinking about doing. The first issue is, what are we going to do with him for at least the next like 20 years, right? So
Do you really think he's gonna live until 93?
he could. His dad lived to 97. His mom lived to 94.
Damn.
He could live to 90s, but
But
to be
okay,
honest, I don't know.
I'm ask one question. Do you love him?
Do I love him?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how you define love, because he wasn't.
Like, do you like?
Do I what?
Do you like him as a like? Do you like him as a father or not?
Well, I don't know because problem is that he left during, let's see, 2008, so like freaking beginning of middle school for me. So he was basically present for, you could say, definitely second grade, definitely third grade, sort of to an extent. Because I know third grade we still lived in that old house. Fourth grade that's when my mom, we were in an apartment, and I think he kind of left at that point. But he was like traveling back and forth. But by fifth grade, he pretty much was living in Tampa full time. Um, so so what would that be? So I would say like when I was 10 years old is when he moved to Tampa.
You never told me why he moved.
Well, so he moved there because he thought he was going to get money working with his first son. Because first
Yeah.
son became an insurance lawyer, and I think that son was also trying to get into being like a business developer of some sort. I don't know in what
But
area
that failed.
exactly.
But that failed.
Well, for my dad, yeah. I don't know the details about my brother or half brother. I don't know what he did and what he did not exactly, other than I know he opened up an insurance law firm. I don't know how successful it was, because my dad would always tell these like fantasy stories that my half brother's rich and he did this and that, but my dad's brother, so my uncle, uh, claims it's something completely different and a bunch of lies. And my mom thinks it's most likely lying, but I don't know what's fact and what's myth. So um, anyway, he moved down to Tampa because he believed that he was going to have a better life there.
Stupid ass nigga.
Well, my grandmother thinks it's because he was lazy, that he never wanted to work or do any work, um, was looking for shortcuts
Ah,
or something.
no wonder you're lazy.
No wonder what?
No wonder you're lazy to work out.
Me? What do you mean I'm lazy to work out? I've been working out.
You're just you're just like your dad, buddy.
Oh, don't start on that.
I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking,
Because I've been
I'm
working
joking.
out. I told you I lost weight. I got
Yeah.
proof to even
How much
back it
are
up
you
to you.
how much are you again?
Now I'm at 229.
No way. Be dead ass.
Well, I can't measure it now to show you, but I was at 229, or because I double checked. I've checked because I weighed myself several times on pounds, and then I went to the kilogram scale, and it said 104. And what?
So you lost hold on, so you lost 20 pounds,
No, more than that.
30 pounds.
Well, I don't. Well, it's the problem is I don't know how much I was when I started, because summer of 2022
No.
when I came back after back to the U.S. from Russia, and
My
then
man, just go to the video that you made me of playing Alfonso, bro, because we were talking about your weight back then.
Sansa. I have a couple of videos where you're playing a Sansa.
Yeah, because most of them we talked about your weight.
Well, how long? Because we've been talking about my weight at least since freaking October. Because I was in 250s in October, or no, what was that?
You're at
255, or maybe even more in October.
you're at
So
259, I think.
yeah, I think I was at 259. So probably, realistically, I was either at 265 or 275, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Then you were happy that you lost 3 pounds.
Yeah, I was, but now I'm like, all right, since I'm down to like 229, I want to. I'll be happy if I'm in like the low 220s, and once I'm in the low 220s, I'm basically what I was at in ninth grade. Um, and then
Dad,
base, yeah,
Dad, how the hell do I sleep? I'm like 163 pounds when I sleep, right?
you're 163 when you sleep. All right,
But when I wake up, I'm like 155.
because
I've been 8 pounds while I sleep.
yeah, it's like that for me too. It's basically a few different things.
Your
Um,
metabolism and some shit.
yeah, metabolism, food being digested in your body. Um,
What
you
the?
you probably sweat some of it out. You know, your body burns energy while it sleeps as well. And then typically in the mornings, people, go to the bathroom. Some of that's lost through that. Or, throughout the night, you might go to the bathroom. Um, I have to read the exact difference, but yeah, for me, it's the same thing too. Sometimes I've had it as much as 8 pounds before myself, but usually on average, it's not eight, it's like maybe 4 or 5 pounds. It fluctuates though, but 229 is the lowest I've weighed, and but last few days it's gone up slightly because I ate some salty food, but it's going down again because I was at
Yeah, bro. Don't eat
229.
food, bro. Stop. If you already lost 20 pounds, don't eat like. Try to control your diet. This is the chance to like make you lose more weight, bro.
I know
It's giving you a head start.
that's why I'm freaking oh god, almost on a daily basis I have to fight my freaking grandparent or grandmother. Oh, you gotta
Well,
eat. If you don't eat, you're gonna freaking have a coma. Oh, if you don't eat, you're gonna have a headache, and you're gonna fall in the hospital. If you don't eat, then you're going to crash the car. Just oh, I've made this food. There's no way I'm gonna throw this food out. You better eat it now. Or everyone eats the food. You ate the food when you were a child. You have to eat it now. Like trying to do everything possible to have me eat food. Oh, why you want that American food? You have to eat
bro,
this food, or
man,
all
Russian
kinds.
grandma, Russian grandmas these days, bro.
Oh, I think it's because it's freaking them growing up post World War II in the Soviet Union, and they had sometimes, especially right after World War II, they had the freaking food rations and all that. The freaking
What's your favorite
supermarket.
Russian food?
My favorite Russian food. I have a few. It's hard to say one exactly. Um, I'll name a
I,
few
I feel like
though.
your parents spend too much money on fucking food, bro.
Um, right now they don't. Definitely not as much as what it was like last year, I would say. Um, but yeah,
They
because my
said like they probably spend like 300 a month or 400 or 500 a month.
I would say definitely at least 300 a month, 4 or 500. I don't know. Um, maybe. I would hope they don't spend that much though, because freaking when I if I'm well, it it depends on who's managing the stuff. Because if I have to manage, I barely spend any money at all. Because I think I'm probably among the better people who can money manage. Um, anyway, so my dad, right? Uh, so I call him up. He doesn't know where he's been, and was asking him about the memoirs and all that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to make some money." I'm like, "Well, why?
Just your memories.
What's that?"
Does memoir mean memories?
Sort of. Let me tell you exactly what a memoir is because I'm kind of like trying to remember myself. But um, so a memoir is like a piece of literature or writing or an essay usually is what they call it. Uh, some people call it a biography written from personal knowledge or special sources. So that's basically like uh, my dad going and interviewing, listening to what people are saying, and he writes it down and turns into like an essay, basically, which could turn into a book. Uh, and my dad wants to make money through that way. But realistically, the only people who have money to be doing that is like the upper class people, some middle class, but most people those are people who are willing to pay money to basically have memories written into a book
Yeah,
for somebody, and not your regular person is going to be paying for that. Some people might, but not everybody. Uh, would certainly be cool to be doing that, but most people I know don't have time to be, busy in all that area because he basically picked an area that's uh, very tight niche community. If that makes any sense. Um, so anyway, he's talking to me. He starts not making any sense in what he's saying. First thing he does, he starts calling me Bobby. Right? So he calls me Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby, I need your help. Uh, Bobby, I need to find a place to move to quick. It doesn't matter where. Bobby, why do I need to
Bro,
talk to my mother,
hold up.
Bobby?
Imagine, die. Imagine he had a son that died and his name was Bobby. Now he's
No, he doesn't. He well, I won't go into too much detail. It did not have anybody die, but he starts asking me these weird sped questions like, call me Bobby. And then he says, Bobby, why do I need to talk to my mother? And
what the fuck?
yeah, out of nowhere.
What the fuck, man? Shit, man. What the fuck, man?
I
He
know.
crazy.
I
He
know.
very crazy, man.
Yeah, that's.
He too crazy. Nah, he gonna be homeless or go to a mental asylum.
Oh my god, yeah. Bobby, why do I need to talk to my mother? Bobby, don't you have a house? Bobby, I need a room to stay in. Bobby.
Bobby, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. And he went
So,
on and on and on.
yeah. So, are you streaming?
Yeah, but oh my
Oh,
god.
shoot, my bad, dog. My
You
guys,
good?
my bad, guys.
You good? I want you to go on and go. I still have a little bit of that cough, but the cough's getting a lot better now. I think it's going to be gone within the next week or so. Anyway, so when he starts going on about him need to find a place, I'm thinking that lady's trying to kick him out. But the problem is he has this like weird moments when that lady is like drunk, and we don't know if that lady's serious or not.
Nah, if that lady fuck with the guy, nah, that's fucked up.
I don't even know, man, because when he was during the phrase when he was like trying to brainwash my sister, and he was like first living with the lady, he was like trying to
Yeah.
convince my sister to call that this lady who's in her, I think the lady was in her 70s herself, and he's like, I'm gonna need you to call her sexy mama.
Nigga,
Like
what?
that's what he was freaking teaching my sister when she was in like sophomore in high school. She's like 15, 16 year old, and my dad was like freaking trying to brainwash her to do stupid stuff like that. Oh man, that was some crazy years too. That's probably why my last year of high school I decided not to take AP classes and just take regular classes because I couldn't deal with all that stress. And I probably went on and on until probably about 21 when I was 21 years old, and then after that it kind of like stopped.
You're gay? Yeah. Oh, yeah, gay, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, fine.
but yeah, so the plan now is that what are we going to do with him, right? And I have a list of things and ideas of stuff that needs to
What
be
the
checked.
fuck?
So
Yeah, man.
the first thing I got to figure out is, how long is he going to be living with this lady? And I have
Probably 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Uh, so on one end, we're thinking the longer he lives with this lady, the better. Uh,
Why?
well, so we have someone who kind of takes care of him, so that responsibility is not on us.
You already gotta take care of your grandpa, dog. You finna die. You got no time to be on Discord if he comes over.
I know. So, that's the first issue. Him being there, how long is he going to be there? Once he officially gets kicked out of there, which I don't know when that's going to be, where is he going to live? And the general premise we're thinking is that if he were to live in North Carolina, that may be the best.
Where's
Because
he living now?
in Georgia.
Oh,
And um,
damn, he has nobody in Georgia. Damn.
the only person he has is he has a sister, but the sister has no desire to be involved with him at all. Sister has her own life, her own kids, uh, and in general, my dad's side of the family has some uh, disconnect with each other. They don't really talk to each other, and it's like maybe once a year, twice a year during like Thanksgiving or Christmas, they may get together, but it's like they're there for a day and then they all want to leave. And according
That's sad.
Yeah, and according to my mom's side of the family, they claimed that they were so weird that they didn't really even celebrate like birthdays. Someone's birthday, they may say happy birthday and then that's it. Like Facebook happy birthday. um, you
Well,
know,
man, Russian people these days, bro.
no, well, that's no my dad's side. My dad's side's American. My mom's side, the idea of having a party, having a cake, giving people gifts and all that. Supposedly, they are the ones who started that in my family, which to me sounds crazy to think about that, but yeah. Um, so anyway, eventually he's going to have to come to North Carolina, is what we're thinking. Um, once he is in North Carolina, he has to stay somewhere for minimum 30 days. And I don't know how they have to track that or what the process is like, but after minimum 30 days, he then has to get state insurance for like healthcare. So that's Medicare, Medicaid. Um,
Oh, I thought, you know what? I just found out too.
what?
So my school teams, they've been buying Nike shorts from fucking Gabe's.
From where?
Gabe's. You don't know what Gabe's is?
Oh, Gabe's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard of it. It's a clothing store.
Yeah. I've been wondering how that like they got so I bought three pairs of the same color and showed it to the coach.
Yeah, and what the coach say?
He was surprised, I think.
Well, they probably have a contract with Gabe's for some kind of deal. Because some of these, I don't, I know Gabe's is not a big brand store. They kind of like in random places. Like we don't have Gabe's in Charlotte, but I know they have Gabe's up north. Um, but a lot
Yeah.
of the Gabe's have been closing down because
Why?
probably bad operations. Because I know we had the freaking Family Dollar here, and Family Dollar has been having issues. Even though Family Dollar used
Hmm.
to be off the chain, especially when I was growing up. Now it's like all ghetto. Um, and the guy who owned Family Dollar had a lot of money, and he put a bunch of money into Charlotte. Like they built a hospital, a children's hospital. They built like two different museums, a bunch of different things. Anyway, so yeah, once my dad's got insurance, then I gotta get him to get a full physical evaluation to figure out, what is he sick with? How do we deal with the sickness? Can we treat the sickness, or is this something that's like gonna be with him the rest of his life? Um, like he had diabetes for forever, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so he may still have diabetes. He probably does. Then I don't know if
Yikes.
he's got something that's called neuropathy, where you're like the nerves in your legs and knees are kind of like messed up.
Yeah.
Um, so his walking is very limited, um, which eventually is going to be possibly wheelchair.
So, yeah.
But I'm hoping that the wheelchair is still like at least 10, 15 years down the line.
Damn, 10, 50 God.
I would hope so, but you never know because my my mom's dad, my Russian grandfather, he's 87, but he can still walk. He walks with a cane.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Pause.
so so basically, I got to figure out what
Bro
his
said,
health is like, and
black
then
fucker.
eventually figure out whether or not if once
Mm-hmm.
he's got North Carolina insurance, where can he
Yeah,
stay?
so, yeah. Uh-huh.
One option is that he can do what my grandparents did, which is like they're on Section 8 housing, they're on food stamps, they're on this and that, and then put them on like there's a few different programs out there for like basically to help take care of him, and then uh, he could live in like an apartment with like discounted rent or something like that. Um, or the next option is he lives in an assisted living facility, which is what his brother wants, like a nursing facility. Um,
So.
but I have mixed opinions on that because he could maybe need to go in a rehab center, and then the rehab could fix him up, like what they're doing to my grandfather, and then maybe he might get back to
You really
like
think
being
rehab is
normal.
going to tomorrow?
Rehab does some amazing stuff. Like my grandfather had a stroke, and after 6 months, because a stroke basically can kill you, right? Um, went from being bedridden to being able to walk without a cane, which is pretty good because a lot of people they lose that ability. Um, so I would suspect that it could certainly be
Yeah.
useful, but then again, the neuropathy, I don't know much information on that, um, and how to even figure out how severe that is. That he, um, otherwise, I don't know what else he has. I've been told throughout the years that he has this, he has that. Oh, he had a nose infection. They put a hole in his nose. I've heard of that rumor, but
What the
wasn't.
fuck?
Yeah, but that's a freaking lie. That I was told. Then I was
Nah,
told that
a horn is something crazy.
yeah, that's what some freaking lie somebody told me. Um, I won't go into much detail on that, but
Wow, why?
I'm afraid if I revealed information, I could get in trouble. Um, then I was
What's
told
your grandpa
that
gonna do? Come stab you? Come eliminate you?
I don't even know because I just say I've had incidents where some people close to him have tried to threaten my sister with legal action.
Like leak her photo? Some shit like that?
No, I'm talking about. Oh, you talk crap about me, so I'm gonna sue you for defamation.
Fuck.
Stupid stuff
Soon.
like that, and something that has no merit or basis or no evidence to be able to back up any claims.
That's kind of very sped.
I know, but that's why I cannot go too much in detail because I don't want to stir that pot.
Stir that soup pot.
Yeah. Um. So eventually, figure out what can be expected within the next time frame of somewhere between 10 to 20 years, right? Um, and then by the time after 20 years, we're probably looking at end of life care at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, which who knows what that's
What
going to be because kind
the
of
fuck is this?
what's what?
Hold up. What the fuck is this?
What you find?
Oh shit! This for my nephew or whatever. I was about to rip that shit apart.
Oh,
That
but
shit for my nephew.
yeah, I don't know, cause
Isn't nephew like your? Isn't nephew like your cousin's son?
yeah, I guess you could call it that. Aunt or yeah, nephew. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. If you well, technically, it's in reference to a nephew is your sibling's child. So like if you were to your so like your whenever your sister has a child, you would be considered that child's uncle, and that child to you would be considered nephew. But I think a cousin's child, you could say nephew or uncle. I don't know. It gets sort of weird in English, um, but in Russian we just call it uncle this, nephew that. Some people would call it cousin, son, or I don't know what the exact word is. Nephew sounds correct to me. There's probably an exact name for it, but it's something like my dad probably would know, and he'd be like the only person around to know. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. I gotta take care of myself. That's my big thing. I gotta, pick my social rank up, if that makes any sense, because I'm not gonna, and I think my sister has more of an interest to take care of my dad than I do.
What?
I don't know. She's always been like closer to my dad than I have. Um, I don't know. It's sort of weird, but in my mind, I gotta take care of my mom and then my grandparents. I feel like to me that's a higher priority, especially since I see them on a daily basis, and I feel like they need that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what else has been weird
Yeah.
lately? So, other than Pennsylvania coming at June 20th, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
26th.
26th. All right, so about 2 weeks. Uh, anything else going on?
Nah, I don't know.
Uh, I'm trying to get something set up with my neighbor now. I'm gonna start looking into doing the car detailing again and how to set that up, because it's actually now a whole brand new market. Um, because it
Mhm.
used to be I would charge like $60 for just clean the inside, and I would try to get like 130 or 150 to do like everything. And now it's minimum 150, like going less than 150 to do uh to clean a car is not worth it. And according to my neighbor, he says that his
Wait, hold up. Are you being sped?
am I being, what do you mean? No, I'm here
Clean
talking about business.
well, no, I know, but clean a car for 150 is a good deal.
I know it. That's why we're trying to figure out the
Cleaning a
price.
car for one
I know what the prices go for.
car cleaning for 150 is a good price.
Well, that's I'm talking about like a regular basic clean.
I'll
So that's like vacuuming,
no,
cleaning the seats, cleaning like upholstery, maybe like the ceiling of the car if there's
bro,
like mud spots or whatever.
I'll clean 2 cars for that money.
You would.
Yes,
That's
I would.
well, that's good to know. Maybe come down to North Carolina and we can get you some work. Um, but anyway, I talked to my neighbor, and where he works, his like, what do you call it, competition, I guess, or side business. They charge now minimum to do just the interior of a car 180,
Damn.
but which sounds a lot, but my I have a a friend, I guess you could call him, acquaintance, who does both interior and exterior for about 300. And I'm gonna talk to my neighbor. We're gonna try to come up with a business plan on how much to charge people because he said that he would only clean cars, but he would do full on deep detailing for like 600.
Your neighbor must your neighbor like your neighbor better not be sped, bro.
No, he's not sped.
Is it the one who makes engines
He can work
or
on
computer
engines, but
shit, whatever?
no, he's a mechanic.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, him.
Yeah, he said that he would only detail cars if it's like $600 minimum, but it's like deep detailing for like high end cars. But I'm talking about like average work, like standard. But certainly would still leave that still on the table. But I don't believe I have all that equipment ready for high end detailing. I would have to take a look and see what I have because I still am kind of in that process. Like I need to get myself a an automotive steamer, which is used to like usually clean deep stains. Um, and then I gotta find a few different things for like dog hair and all that because I've done a few jobs on that, and anything with like pet hair
Dog hair
is
my ass.
yeah, anything with pet hair is a lot trickier to deal with, and it takes a lot more time. So I
Sorry,
gotta come up with a
sorry.
system.
Is there a fucking fan behind in the background or what?
Oh shoot, you hear the fan? Yeah, there. I have an air purifier. But what's crazy, I was
Yeah,
checking my
that's
mic.
making my AirPods go. Bro, that's making my AirPods go bad, bro.
Uh, yeah, it's like on medium power right now. I could crank the whole thing up to high, but and you would be mad. Um,
Hell no, hell no.
yeah, I'm trying to clean the air and everything in my grandparents' apartments. But oh god, I was gonna tell you we were doing house hunting or like what do you call it?
Yeah,
Walking in houses that are for sale to see what they look like.
house hunting,
Yeah, I
house
guess that's
hunting my ass.
yeah, but freaking everything is so expensive. We went to one house that was priced at 779,000, and
Yeah,
we were thinking, well, maybe we could, send an offer for like 650, maybe seven.
yeah.
Freaking people were savages putting in offers for like 850
Damn, for what?
for a house because it's in a good neighborhood. It,
850,000.
yeah, they're offering more than the asking price.
God damn, what is the price?
The asking price was 779,000, and people are putting in offers like
Where do you have that
850.
money to buy?
Well, that's what we're
Sorry,
trying to
where do you
figure
have
out.
the money to buy that?
I mean, I don't have. Oh God,
There's no.
I think that
How you gonna buy a house for 750?
yeah.
I
Well,
thought you couldn't even afford a house for 200,000.
no, it would have to be a joint thing. Like, would have to sell the house or sell my mom's house. We could probably get like. I'd have to recheck the price now because everything went up. But I would say it's probably worth between 560 to 600, somewhere in that neighborhood, depending on the market.
God damn. So y'all trying to look for a mansion, my nigga?
No, it's not even a mansion. The freaking mansions are at least over a million.
Bro, you can buy a mansion for like 600,000 here, bro.
Well, that's why, because you're in Roanoke. Charlotte's a lot more popular city with way more population, way more demand. The market
Yeah,
here is crazy.
you know the cheapest city I ever been to?
What?
Raleigh. I think it was Raleigh or Greensboro.
Definitely not Raleigh, because Raleigh's the capital, and plus they got some high-end colleges there.
Bro.
Greensboro's probably cheap, but there's places that
No,
are even
bro, because
cheaper
of
than Greensboro.
no, because a cigarette packet costs like $2.30 or something. When here it cost like $5.99, and gas price was like $1.97.
Oh, you probably were here forever ago then.
No, I was there in 2019.
Definitely not Raleigh. Raleigh would definitely have way higher prices than that. You probably were on the outskirts of Greensboro, because Greensboro is a lot smaller city, and you're probably like in the countryside somewhere. Yeah, because Raleigh wouldn't have that at all. Um, Come to think of it, it's hard to imagine Greensboro having that, to be honest.
True.
Because I'm thinking like even the outskirts of Charlotte, like we have some small towns and cities here and there. Like we got a place called Monroe, which is like 40, 30, 45 minutes from Charlotte, depending on where you are in
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
And even there, the only difference is sometimes gas is cheaper. It was cheaper when I was going to community college there, but now it's like more expensive than Charlotte. And um, the store's a lot more country and they're cheaper. Other than Walmart, Walmart's expensive. But like Dollar Tree, you have that there. Then you have random country stores here and there. What's the name of that restaurant chain? Uh, you have a few of those there. You have like one Home Depot there somewhere. I think there's a Lowe's right next to the Walmart, but that Lowe's is sort of sketchy.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just a couple of different things here and there. But yeah, my plan right now is we gotta come up with a business plan with my neighbor. I'm gonna just call him Zach. Yeah, let's call him Zach. Um, so Zach and I we have to come up with a business plan
Zachary.
and figure out what are the costs that go into doing that plan. Um, you know, basically expenses versus what where the money money's coming in, money's going to go out to where, and come up with a plan of some sort. I have a few different ideas. I have one guy who told me that it should be no more than 30% of whatever the asking price should go to the worker, but I'm kind of iffy on that. I'm willing to do a little bit more depending on what the money looks like. Because let's say if it's 150, then the worker would make 45 bucks, but then again, how long is the work? Is it going to be an hour? Is it 2 hours? If it takes more than 3 hours, the worker probably will start getting mad because most people want to make more than 15 bucks an hour. Even though a lot of places pay less than 15 now. But 15 is kind of like becoming the new minimum wage here in Charlotte. Um, Speaking of which, did I tell you about Alex? I don't know. Did you watch the stream that Alex was talking about IHOP?
No.
So Alex works as a host at IHOP, and
Yeah,
he
you told
makes
me.
yeah, he
His
makes
dad is a CEO.
no his dad yeah his dad works as a cook or a chef. Has been a chef for over 10 years at IHOP. Um, he does not know what his dad makes, but he makes himself minimum wage, so 7.25 an hour.
$7?
Yeah, 7.25 federal minimum wage, I believe, right?
God damn. That bull fucking hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta charge my laptop.
Nah.
If my
Nah, I thought
laptop sucks,
725 is crazy.
yeah, that's what I was making in 2014.
No. There's no way, bro. 725?
Yeah. Let me see what it is now. Probably still 7.25. 7.25.
Leave.
And plus, he's a minor, so
How old is he again?
Uh, what is he? 16?
There's no way. Sorry, I couldn't find a job right now around 15 in like 9 months for that pays me $15. Our minimum wage is $15.
Yeah, because Virginia's got higher costs of living, and plus, I think at a state, is it 15 in Virginia? Hold up.
Yeah, it's like I think it's 15. 15 is minimum wage.
No, 12.
It's 12.
Yes, 12 is the minimum, but most places start off at 15 an hour around here.
Cause my friend just started working and he got paid 15.
Oh, easy. If I go to work at a hardware store here, I'll make at least 16 an hour minimum. If I work at
Bro,
Walmart
bro,
here,
look, no, look. If I start working in Amazon in Pennsylvania, I could start making around $30 an hour.
for what?
Amazon,
Oh, at Amazon, yeah. Yeah, Amazon pays well, but it's very hard work.
dog, my cousin makes like so much money, bro. Like I don't know.
Yeah, if you're making 30 an hour, you're making over 50,000 a year. Because 24 is like right at 49. 25 is probably hitting 50.
But no,
Um,
my cousin's like, okay, so you're in Penn State, right?
yeah.
He's like the CEO of like a Penn Penn State hospital.
Oh, nice.
CEO like or manager or something.
Probably manager, but even manager is good.
That's the house that I'm going to. That's the house I'm going to. That's the cousin that lives in Pennsylvania.
That's good for him.
Yeah, that's like, bro. He gets paid to drive, but you know that, right?
Pay to drive? I think I get paid to
Yeah,
drive too, depending on the work. Yeah, I get paid to.
he gets paid to go to what's it called? To go to like he gets paid to go to like what's it called? When there's project and like there's ideas and like something I forgot.
Like to a project site, or are you talking about like
Like a
sharing?
like team team conference or whatever. I forgot what's it called.
Oh yeah, attending conferences. I'm sure a lot of places pay for
Yeah,
that.
when he goes there, yeah, every time like I think every 1 mile is like $2. No, every like 10 miles like $3 or $4. I forgot, but it's a lot.
I get paid like 45. Well, when I'm doing interpreting, starting pay is like 45 cents per mile, but then depending on the work, I talk to them and I can get approval. As far as I know, up to at least an additional $20 an hour
Yeah.
plus the 45 cents per mile. But I've decided to sort of put a limit on how long I'm going to be driving because they try to set me to go somewhere for like 4 hours away, and the whole job will probably take over 10 hours, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I think the most, yeah, because I can make more money doing the detailing, I would imagine. But see, I wouldn't mind doing the $20 an hour thing if it's like maybe half an hour drive somewhere plus the 45 cents or an hour. But over an hour, you start getting tired from driving on the road. And I know truck drivers, they make a lot more than that.
Damn.
So, I don't see a reason to be spending my whole time. And then, driving on the road's dangerous too. So, there's always a risk in that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my streams glitched. I don't know why. I have to fix that.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
What else been going
Or
on?
maybe because of charge was low.
I don't know. My freaking YouTube's been glitching. The subscriber count always like goes super up and then it starts slowly going down and then goes up again and it's like fluctuating. Like I know I got over
Yeah.
520 subs, but my end it says 518. So it's got a bunch of issues. And anyway, so yeah, that car detailing is going to be a project. I'm gonna start trying to figure out how to get that set up, and then begin to start managing that, and also what's it called, marketing, and then eventually start getting eBay and all that back up to what it was back in March, and probably got to start doing some sourcing as well. Um, Otherwise, yeah, I've had some good stuff on eBay. Like I sold a bunch of Nature Valley granola bars to a guy in Israel. He bought like I think 6 boxes or 6 cases,
In
and
Israel?
yeah, and I shipped it off today at the post office.
Yeah, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
How much again?
Uh, the details. Let me see. I think it's like I paid. Well, the guy paid me like 130 something bucks, but eBay took their cut, and
120?
no, 130 plus, like 133, I think, for
God,
6 boxes
damn.
of Nature Valley. Yeah, Nature Valley.
Wow, wow, damn. I can see why, because there's some war going on there.
There's a bunch. Who knows what the reason is? But yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, man.
You know,
Why not, man?
eBay took their
Come on,
cut,
man. I'm gay,
plus I
man.
had to pay, oh
Come
god,
on.
over $40 for shipping.
Damn.
Plus there's like insurance and all that, additional fees, and who knows what else, taxes and all that, plus
Sorry.
customs forms and
Do you know Z-Way?
oh, I know the way. I know
Do
the
you know
way.
Z-Way?
I spit on the
Bomba la
non-believers.
caca. Bomba la caca club club pussy hole. Bomba. Ty, you wanna know what I haven't? You know what I haven't recently been doing?
What you been doing?
I haven't been editing lately.
Editing for what?
Soccer clips. I haven't been editing much.
But how
Oh,
you
did I tell
editing
you?
if you're what the frick's going on my subscriber count? It keeps going down now.
Did I tell you KDSJ88? You know the KDS guy?
Yeah,
Sadly, his TikTok account got banned. And that's sad, bro.
I know. You told me he got banned too.
Wait, I did?
Yeah, his account got banned on
When?
TikTok. A while ago on one of the streams.
Oh, his account just got banned like 2 weeks ago, though.
Must have been 2 weeks ago. You told me then.
That shit's sad, though, bro. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, bro. But when girls are showing their stuff off and showing the private part and shit, then people get banned for that. Like, that's fucked up.
I know, bro. I gotta figure out some of my shorts. My shorts keep getting a bunch of views, but I'm like battling with the subscriber count now. But I've had battles
Probably Alex
before.
trying to paint you again.
I don't know. I gotta get my video views and my live stream views up. I don't know why they haven't been doing so well. Some of them have been getting some views though, but nothing compared to how my shorts are doing. Man, I remember my regular videos were getting like several thousand views. That was nice. Now it's just my shorts are getting views. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you mean. I gotta go to sleep, and plus it's like what 1 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta charge my laptop. So I'm gonna call it a night. All right?
So let's not. Hold on. What time is it?
It's like after 1 o'clock in the morning for me.
Let's make it 1:30.
Oh my god. Oh, I gotta get my charger out and all that
Please.
too. Plus, I'm running out of ideas of what to talk about.
I know what to talk about.
What? What should I talk about?
So, what we're going? Bro, are you still streaming?
Yeah. That's why I want to go bed.
We should talk about when you're gonna buy that PC.
Good question. Probably at this point, because I have a few financial goals I have to get to first, um, which I might possibly get to one of my minimums by the end of June. Um, maybe, but it's gonna be quite a big stretch because I don't know if how I'm going to get paid for one of my jobs I'm doing, and then plus I don't know what other job's going to start.
Like, can you stop streaming? Because I want to talk privately on the last 20 minutes.
Oh, shoot. All right. Let's see what you need to talk about. All
And
right.
I am going to check if you're stopping to stream or not.